To my pain, it is continuing. After the Nazi genocide of the Jews, a lot of crimes have been, a lot of blood has been spilled. If you document it, there were injustices and tragedies in Cambodia, in Balkans, in Darfur, Rwanda. The line is endless. Shouldn't have happened. I'm grateful to the Canadian educational system that promotes this type of lectures and talking to them about our experiences, because this is very uniquely educational. Hopefully they will have a better generation when they grow up, because from early on they were taught and fed. This was an aberration which you must never allow to repeat itself in the society you will live in.
Get your attention, please.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Holocaust Education Center. A little later on in the program, I will introduce our key speaker.
Of course, you have to tailor the presentation to the age. What I can say to university students, I cannot say to those who are still in public school. My father and later my mother became victims of this type of subhuman life. It was a combination of malnutrition, horrible living conditions, and of course the emotional shock of death of my sister.
When I read Night, I reread it every summer because I know the kids are, I can't sleep. For me to be able to take the students to meet Vera is so important, and I do that. I make that trip because I want to honor the fact that these kids have gone on this journey.
In a book, you can put kind of whatever spin you want in your head, like how you think they're saying it, but when someone's actually talking to you, you get exactly what they meant to say.
Whenever you learn something new about history, you feel like once it's ended, you just want to know more, and that's how I felt when I met Vera. I really want to know more about her.
Students are perhaps more than ever more open and asking questions.
It's the generation, they like narrative, and they want that personal connection.
Any other questions? Yes.
As a young girl in a camp, were you able to make friends?
You depend on lots of people as a child, and not to be able to make those vital connections with people must really scar you. And I just wanted to wonder, was she able to do that in that concentration camp?
You really didn't want to invest much emotions into somebody else because, you know, today may be Tuesday or Wednesday, tomorrow they may not be there.
By asking that question, I got to know a lot more than I would have if I didn't ask it.
They're not stupid questions. They can be only very stupid not to ask. But ask, because this is the last possibility of these aging survivors that can answer.
There really isn't anything quite like that encounter.
I didn't really like it before. I thought it was boring. I hate to say that it was boring, but she really cleared a lot up for me. It made me think about it more and how I'm lucky that it didn't happen to me, I guess, to us.
I keep on always being aware of the fact that out of the 60 or 100 or how many people are facing me, if I reach one or two, time well invested.
The last 4 years we've gone to hear Holocaust speakers, survivors at the Holocaust Center in Toronto, and these people, not to be macabre, aren't getting any younger. And I suspect that it's possible that people won't remember in the same way. And it worries me a little bit.
Soon will be only the books and recorded messages we have left behind. Once we are gone, and I don't think we have too long to go, that this will be done on this basis by serious educators.
We learn about World War II in history, like I said, but that's more like the politics in the world. I'm not actually sure what else we get on the Holocaust. You'd have to ask like a teacher or someone.
They can actually come out of high school not knowing much about the Holocaust at all. They have a compulsory grade 10 course, and there's a page and a half, maybe a page, about the Holocaust in the Canadian context, and that's it.
You mean in the history class?
In the history class. So we don't, yeah, and that's the only compulsory history course there is.
You just only have to take the one Canadian history course. But you do have the option of American and world history in 11 and 12.
I would love to get into the Holocaust more, though.
I think that it's important that we bring it over and over to the attention of the young people to stay away from all these ugly features of a man's character and never allow it to develop.
It's so surprising the things that went down in the Holocaust?
I think over here in Canada, we have a pretty good education, and there's enough, I think, that you know what happened and not to have it happen again, because it was really awful.
1915, there has been crime committed on the Armenians by the Turks, and there's a famous quote of Hitler who said, when he was talked about the annihilation of the Jewish people in Europe, that he said, well, who today still talks about the Armenians? If there's any silver lining on this horrible Nazi era, it is that it should serve as a deterrent or warning. What can happen if hatred explodes?